Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about getting started with TIBCO Spotfire Cloud Edition. So the first thing I'll point out is that if you're using a on-premise server deployment, I have a separate video that covers that information that goes over setting up the server for the first time and getting started. So for this TIBCO Cloud environment, notice the URL, which is the current new one that we're switching from to. So if you have the old one, this wouldn't apply, but once you're moved over, this would be a good getting started video. So the first thing I'm going to kind of point out is that when you open your cloud profile, you can open any of your analyses, whether it's through your team or your users, and you can see not only your quick access, but your group and some sample files that can get you started with different use cases. The other thing I'd like to point out is that if you need any resources, the first one I'm going to kind of point out is downloads. If you have an analyst client, which is the desktop thick client, then you're going to want to go to this download page and you can just hit the download button here. And you'll notice there's some database drivers depending on what sources you're looking to connect to. So shared folders, you can see here, you can see your group folders with some information within it, and of course your own personal folder that falls under users. The second thing I'm going to point out is that in the entire TIBCO Cloud, which can be reached by going to all of this information, you're going to notice that since it's in the TIBCO Cloud portal, you now have access and the ability to try other products that are also in the cloud. So not all of yours are going to show launch, only the Spotfire one should if you only have it, but these would have add and trial and different options for you, but those won't be covered in this video. The first thing I want to point out is as an administrator, you're going to want to be able to add team members. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have the option to do this for the entire group, but if you're only using Spotfire, just click on the Spotfire button and you can just go to invite new members here, insert some sort of email, and once you insert that group or multiple, I can just go and assign the roles. And really all I need to do for each user, it's going to show you how many you have available for each one. I just need to hit the buttons. If I want to make them also an administrator, I can do that, and you would share and send that. Now, that's not permanent. I like to point out that certain users could be removed or reassigned different users. So once you assign someone that, it's not permanent to leave that there. If you're ever curious on your subscription, such as how many users you have available and when it's going to expire, you can go into the details here to see that information. The other thing I'll point out, if you want to change your organization name for all of the TIBCO Cloud, that would be done in the account button, and then there would be a button there to show that, but I'm not going to click on it because it has some personal information. So the other things I'll cover is kind of some resources that are going to help you get started. First of all, you saw a community link in the library here and our YouTube channel. So you can go to both of these to see information related to Spotfire use cases. The community page, I like to point out, has an entire ask question, but if you want to go directly to Spotfire information, go to products, and then you'll of course just filter to the analytics section and click on the Spotfire page. And if you want to look at certain topics, just click on the wiki, and there's going to be an entire list of information that goes on different industry solutions, types of problems that need to be solved with capabilities, and a few other things that you can drill down into. So plenty of information to get started there. The second thing I'll point out is our support portal, which in the Spotfire tool can be accessed by the question mark. So not only can I click the user guide, which is going to be the documentation for all of your information, and this is going to be more of the web related use cases. So if you're a business author or a consumer, this is going to be where you would go. If you're a analyst or desktop client, all you need to do is go to docs.tibco.com, type in Spotfire Analyst, and there's going to be a user guide that you can click right here. So that's the one you're going to want to use if you have the desktop client. Now, lastly, I'm going to cover the support portal. The support portal can also be accessed from that question mark writing a support case, or you can go directly to our support site. All of these links, by the way, will be included in the URL post. And you essentially, once you've signed in under your Tibco account, I can go to my cases, and I'm going to see a list of all the new cases or current ones I have, what status they're at, and I can go and just create a brand new one. So typically for Spotfire Cloud, you have to think of two things. If it's an administrative issue, first you're going to type in your company name, so that way we have a way of tying you to that customer group. From there you won't see these two, that's employee only. So products, so if it's an administration issue, you want to use Spotfire Cloud, and that's the one you would select. However, if it's an issue with your client, such as the analyst or the business author or the consumer, you're going to want to directly type those in. From there, so we'll do a sample one with the analyst. It's going to ask environment profile, and essentially that's something you can save after you've done at the end, and that keeps you from having to write the same things over. Product version, since it's in the cloud, is always going to be the latest version no matter what. For your subject, you'll just type something in, description, blah blah blah, environment type, none, and essentially you'll just say if it's cloud, it's production, if it's hardware, it's hosted, and hosted. So it's going to be hosted for all three in production. For the environment type, since it's in cloud, you'll choose a priority. If it's a non-functional thing that's preventing you from working, then you're probably going to want to choose high or urgent. Otherwise, normal and low are going to be for just how-tos or any other issues that aren't directly affecting your ability to use the product. You'll include an email CC list if you want anyone included in the discussion on top of yourself. Once you continue that, go ahead and fill those out. It's going to allow you to save that answer or submit the case. My advice, description, the more thorough you make that, the better. And once you submit, there's actually going to be a place where it'll show the chat, and it'll also have a tab for attachments. I recommend that you attach any screenshots that you can. This will make going through the support portal a lot easier and a lot more efficient for our end users to interact with our support team. So with that, that covers getting started in Tibco Cloud. Thanks for your time today.